Alright, everyone, the Metallica discography journey continues to keep on trucking as we get to the long awaited follow up to Saint Anger, being 2008's Death Magnetic, right here. And of course, this is the official release to actually feature Robert Trujillo, who had joined the band in 2003 shortly after, just around the time that Saint Anger was about to be released to the masses. Rob joined the band, and of course, this is his first official, release as a active member of the band, instrument and as the new bass player. And Death Magnetic is strange beast, better than Saint Anger, and you can clearly tell that with Death Magnetic they were trying to go back into that, to that golden era route, where it's trying to go back to that golden age route. And Death Magnetic is, what many people consider to be the album that should have came after And Justice for All. And it's true, Death Magnetic is the fifth album that should have been, and it's hard to say why not. It's very thrashy. It's got that old school Metallica feel to it. It's like you got Kirk Hammett's got back with the solo, back to doing the solos and stuff like that. And some of the solo stuff has a little bit of choppy at some areas. And of course, this album gained a lot of controversy for its overbearing loudness. It was released during the Loudness War, and that distortion with the drums, it's still can get a little irritating at points because it's just so loud and it's just like I mean, it's not as bad as Saint Anger, but it has its own weirdness. For some reason, Lars Ulrich was experimenting with drum sounds. All right, anyway, let's kick it off. We got the opener, which was That Was Just Your Life, and not a bad way to start an album at all. You got that, that classic, slow build up that leads to that classic slow intro that eventually leads to the song itself, with that, thumping heartbeat, boom, boom, and then you get that opening riff, boom, 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 and the song just kicks in. That was just your life. Great song. End of the line. I don't hear it that much, and it's okay. Broken, Beaten, Chart, and Scarred. I never heard that song, and I'd leave it at that. It's not one of my favorite songs. I don't hear it that often. The Day That Never Comes actually is a really good song. It's Aching to Fade to Black. It has like almost the same instrumentation in a way. Well, correct myself. It has a vague resemblance of the instrumentation of Fade to Black, and it's pretty cool. And it has that a good guitar. It has a good musical orchestra with the band itself at the end, which is pretty cool. All Nightmare Long. I love All Nightmare Long. All Nightmare Long is a killer track. Just that opening, beginning. And then, because we hunt you down without mercy, hunt you down all nightmare long. Yeah, I love the music and I love the lyricism for All Nightmare Long. It's good shit. Another favorite of mine of this song of this album is Cyanide. I think Cyanide was the first single I heard off this album, and the second I heard Cyanide, I was like, "This is good shit." Cyanide's a killer track. I like it a lot. The Unforgiven 3. This is the third and final song of the Unforgiven trilogy, and this was co-written by Rob Trujillo, who actually wrote the opening piano intro, and that automatically sets this song apart from the previous two Unforgiven songs, because it has, while the previous two Unforgivens, they all pretty much started off with that same intro. This one took a completely different departure and set it, and pretty much was set as its own, and musically and lyrically, I think it's better. I think it's slightly better than number one. Topple's number two. So Figure Three is a good song. Judas Kiss is a song that I don't listen to as much as I used to, but when I did, I always liked it. Always thought it was pretty good. Uh, Suicide Redemption is the return of the instrumentals for Metallica, and it's a rockin' good heavy metal instrumental. The band just shows that this shows that the band can still do the instrumentals. Um, James has a kick-ass guitar solo near the end of the song. Kirk has another one at the end. The drumming is solid, and Rob on the bass is great. And yeah, Suicide Redemption, good little instrumental. And My Apocalypse, a song that I don't listen to, so I can't talk about it because I don't listen to it. But overall, I give Death Magnetic a solid. I give it a solid 8 out of 10. It's a step in the right direction. It makes up for that long stretch of just meh, which you could say started from Black, Load, Reload, and Saint Anger. You can call that the meh era, where it's just like, yeah, this is the Metallica that I like. So I think with Black, that deserves a little bit more respect because Black, on and of itself, is a thrash album. But is a pretty much a toned down slash thrash album. But if you would have put like more thrashiness to Black, and it would easily stand on its own 2 feet as one of the better ones. But let's say from like Load to Saint Anger, excluding Garage Inc., Death Magnetic definitely is that return to form, so to speak. So yeah, uh, I like Death Magnetic. Highly recommend people listen to Death Magnetic because it's worth checking out. It's not a bad album at all. Well, that covers it for Death Magnetic. And when I come back, we will get to Metallica's 10th and most current album, which was released a couple of months ago, I think in October, November, around that time. But before we get to that, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you again next time.